Donald Trump has been facing increasing pressure to release his medical records, like literally any of the records. Anything, buddy. You're super old. You've literally never been in good shape. We're kind of curious what's going on in your body and your brain. Unfortunately, we don't have those records, so we can only speculate based on the evidence provided by our eyes and our ears, and it's not good for him. But he is trying to, I guess, distract from our concerns by making some wild claims about his physical fitness, as well as some wilder claims about Kamala Harris. And we're gonna cover both of those. So he is trying to pitch it as her saying he should release his medical records is not her saying, hey, this is a norm that every presidential candidate has abided by. Maybe you should do that. Instead, what if it was her being desperate? He bleated, as to her completely desperate request for my capital M medical capital S statements. She is dying to see my cholesterol, which is 180. I have already provided them many times, including quite recently, and they were flawless. We'll turn to the Kamala stuff in just a second. If you can leave this up if you want. Okay, so it's 180. Trust me, you'll have to trust me because I'm never gonna provide any evidence. And I do it all the time. Remember in 2016, I had that farcical letter sent out by a guy that definitely isn't a real doctor. And what do you want from me, America? I've already done that. Dude, you got COVID, nothing, no medical records. You were shot, no medical records. I know you want to pretend that you do this all the time, but I feel like there's been some pretty significant health events that have gone completely document free. And the thing about health is that you cannot simply say, well, I was tested a decade ago, I guess I'm good. Yeah, when I was in high school, I was svelte. I was toit like a tiger. I can't just present that paperwork or reject presenting that paperwork as some sort of like proof that I'm just as good now as I was then. The human body tends to get worse over time, at least in my own personal experience. So I understand why people are concerned about the fact that he does not want to release actual documents recently. Now he turns to her. However, I have just seen Kamala's capital R report and it's not good. You know why you've just seen a report? Because she made them public because that's what people do before we hand them the presidency, okay? According to her capital D doctor's capital R report, he's really on one today. She suffers from urticaria, defined as a, quote, a rash of round red welts on the skin that itch intensely, sometimes with dangerous swelling. Yeah, okay, it's a thing. I think it's an autoimmune disorder. It's a thing, and again, you know why we know about it? We've literally never seen any evidence. I've never seen her with swelling or rashes or whatever. We know because she's being responsible by releasing the records. For scrutiny, by the way, justifiable scrutiny, honest scrutiny, and then also the sort of scrutiny that you're engaging in right now. She goes on to say she also has allergic rhinitis and allergic conjunctivitis, a very messy and dangerous situation. It's allergies. That's what allergies are. Not only do many Americans suffer from those things, not only do I suffer from those things, I'm suffering from those things literally right now as I'm recording this, and I can still do my job. In fact, I will go farther. I think I can be trusted with the nuclear football, and I would trust her with it as well, regardless of her conjunctivitis or rhinitis or whatever. These are deeply serious conditions that clearly impact her functioning. It's allergies and an autoimmune skin disorder. What are you talking about, you massive dolt? Maybe this is why she can't answer even the simplest of questions asked by 60 Minutes and others. What is this all about? I don't have these problems. No, but that's the issue. We literally do not know if you have those issues or likely other issues because you refuse to provide documentation. If everything about the Harris campaign is that they're being so fake, they're not letting us, they're not being transparent. They did. That's how you're putting out this bleat, is by responding to the fact that they're far more transparent than you are. And I'm not just talking about the doctor's report, by the way. He keeps going on and on about the 60 Minutes thing. You know what the 60 Minutes thing is? It's an interview with a reputable news organization. And you know why she did it? Because she does those now. She does a whole bunch of them. And again, I don't always love everything that she says there, but she at least does them. Donald Trump, not so much. Not really doing them. Oh, he'll go on some BS Rumble show or whatever. He's obviously desperately trying to get onto Joe Rogan. He'll do that sort of stuff, but he's not going to talk to an actual journalist. He's terrified of it. By the way, not only is he avoiding what I would count as reputable journalists, he's pulling the plug on disreputable journalists. He's already canceled multiple interviews. I mean, he canceled 60 Minutes after agreeing to it. We also find out this morning that he was supposed to go on Squawk Box on CNBC and he canceled it. He said he would go and the host had to put out a statement just saying, yeah, Trump canceled. He's just not doing it. Okay, I don't know. Is it your urticaria acting up? I don't know. It seems like a very serious condition. I don't know. It doesn't really seem like stable leadership that you were agreeing to these interviews and then pulling the ripcord when things get difficult. And oh boy, are they gonna get difficult in some of the videos we're gonna show you shortly. But he goes on because it's obviously something, remember, he has no capacity whatsoever to be worried about something and to not reveal that to other people. It's one of his fatal flaws. I've put out more medical exams than any other president in history and aced 2 cognitive exams. The doctor stated that my cognitive exams were exceptional. Again, here, let's pointlessly fact check that. They weren't cognitive exams, they were exams for dementia. And you passed it, which is what everyone who does not have dementia should be able to do. And no doctor looked at it and said, great, Scott, this is exceptional, because they give them to people who generally have dementia, okay? You don't, most people don't. I don't, actually. I could ace it too. I could ace it right now. And you have not put out more medical exam. Literally, what medical documentation has he put out? He's had doctors occasionally put out letters or statements. So you had the New York guy who looks as crazy as he seems to be. He put out a letter, not the documents, a letter. That was the guy, by the way, that Trump people raided his office and took boxes of documentation, which is obviously a confidence move. That implies that you're super confident that if that stuff got out, it wouldn't hurt him, that you were gonna raid the guy's office and steal his paperwork. And then of course you had Ronnie Jackson, good old Ronnie Johnson. Ronnie Jackson, who is like 50% pill by volume right now. Yeah, he said that you were in pretty good shape too. That's not what we mean by medical documentation. Not getting the 2 craziest and doped up doctors in American history to attest to your vigor and strength. But anyway, I'm far healthier than Clinton, Bush, Obama, Biden, but especially Kamala. Also, I'm far too busy campaigning to take time for the 22 days left off, as I am using every hour of everyday campaigning because we have to take back our country, blah, 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 blah. No, we're not. What do you mean you don't have time to take? First of all, you do. Literally, what are you talking about? You golf constantly, but let's forget that. We're not asking you to go to the doctor. We're asking you to have the documentation from your prior visits, including you just recently were evaluated as a result of being shot, remember? You don't need to do, I'm not asking you to drive to the hospital, go through the documents and, oh yeah, that's the right one and I'm gonna bring it to CNBC. No, I'm not asking you to do that at all. That would be too much, I think. I'm saying your people could put that out. I mean, come on. When you make up 10 excuses for why you can't do something that you should obviously do, that is not more reassuring, it is far, far less reassuring. And then another message, Kamala's medical report is really bad. With all the problems that she has, there's a real question as to whether or not she should be running for president. My report is perfect, no problems. And again, trust me, because that's the only, you have to, there's no alternative, you're not getting the documents. There's real questions about whether she should run because of her allergic rhinitis. She has cold symptoms from pollen in the air. And a lot of people, I know every time I go to lib cafes, that's the talk of the cafe is, I don't know, her allergies are really bad. And I don't know where to get allergy medicine. So I think that she should probably step down. I think she should. That seems reasonable. It does. Members make a difference here at TYT. You help make the show happen, and we see you in the chat with your loyalty badge. Click the join button to become a member today.